Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. It is that time of the week for Thursday's Mastermind Roundtable. I want to thank you guys all for joining me. I know we're going live on YouTube as well, but if you're on the Zoom, a few little ground rules because we want to make this interactive, and I'm going to be adding people as they join. Take an opportunity, if you'd like, introduce yourself in the chat. Let everybody know where you're joining from. If you want to post in your business card or your digital card there, feel free to do that. I just posted mine. My name is E.R. Wolf. I'm a co-founder here at Elify, and I am joining from Colorado. So nice, one of those nice, beautiful days outside, and hopefully spring is on its way, and we've got the snow flurries and stuff like that behind us. We know we're going to have spring snow, but see everybody coming in. This is so good. Good to see you guys. If you do have questions, we've got a few options here. If you want to come on and talk with everybody, just raise your hand. Zoom has a reactions tab in the bottom of the Zoom menu. You can click on that and they have a little raised hand. We can go through that in the order that we're raising. If you don't want to come on live or talk, you can feel free to throw that in the chat, and I will try and stay on top of the chat as well as we go through everything. So let's get it kicked off. Again, Mastermind Roundtable. So we want this to be interactive. We want to have a discussion. We want to share. I see that Jeff joined today. So Jeff, thanks for joining. I know last week we talked about copywriting and that you are a student of copywriting, and we're going to be diving into some of that today. I also want to focus on a little bit of this week's theme, which is location freedom. And I want to kick that off by a little going back a little bit on my story. As many of you may already know, I've been in online marketing and a virtual worker for over 20 years. What has that afforded me? It has afforded me the opportunity to work and live wherever I want. And I think that's been something that is so amazing and so powerful. And it is my hope that everybody have that opportunity or option available to them, because I know all too often a lot of people have to go where the work is. And we are able to work anywhere, especially with Elify. And I think a lot of that is driven because it's digital, right? As long as I have an internet connection, essentially my cell phone with me, my laptop, I can access the internet from anywhere, and I can post my content from anywhere. And that has really made this accessible from everywhere and allowed me to live from anywhere and have sort of that location freedom. With that being said, one of the important things when you're doing stuff digitally is the content that you're creating and putting out there. Right. I put the topic of today's Roundtable Mastermind: content is king. And when I first started in online promotion marketing, affiliate marketing 20 years ago, I remember we used to get an industry magazine. And I remember one of the subject lines on the cover page was "content is king" type of thing. And it was talking about, what are you putting in front of people? Who's looking at the information that you're putting out there? And how is it benefiting them so that it benefits you? And I think that's one thing we all need to step back and think about. We're all doing different things. Maybe you've got a primary venture you're working on. Maybe you're zoning in on the affiliate side of Elify. Maybe you're just introducing yourself with a digital business card and everything in between, but you're still creating content. And so when I think about content, I start thinking about, how am I using this content? And it starts out like, how is it going to be shared? You know, is this a piece of content that's emailed to people? Is this a piece of content that I might be texting out? Is this a piece of content that I might be tapping with the tap card in real life offline to people, or people are scanning on a QR code? Really, where is one of those first things. Where is this going to be used? And then who's going to be interacting with it? There are so many different ways to leverage the content in a way that best benefits you. I remember when we first started out in online marketing, we did a lot of what they would call search engine optimization, right? You go out, lots of people search on Google and on all of these search engines, and you want your listing or your search to come up first Well, there's certain ways to create your content that best supports that. But you're more playing to the algorithm of the search engine than the person who might be viewing that content. Whereas if you are having something that maybe somebody is scanning, it's just you, the content, and the person who's scanning it. And then you're thinking about, okay, they've scanned it. We know most likely they've scanned from a mobile device. And then we're thinking about what are we asking them to do? Are they scanning it from a fishbowl event, at a trade show? Are they scanning it from a Jumbotron because I'm a speaker at an event? Are they scanning it because I am on it's on my vehicle and I'm a tradesman at a location doing work? James, I know you do a lot of events. You're a DJ. You've got probably some QR codes that people can interact with. Best way, you're not posting a big hyperlink on a banner somewhere asking people to thumb that thing in on their mobile device. You're saying, look, scan this, and then you can interact with me, learn more about me, request a song, leave me a tip, whatever those things are. But you've done some due diligence beforehand to think about the content that you're creating on that card or on that landing page and how it's going to be used, how it's going to be shared, and who's going to be viewing it. And then I think a subset of that, and Jeff, obviously, we want to bring you into the conversation as well, is what are you saying? What are you saying to the person who's viewing the information? And how is what you're providing to them as copy, and this could be the written copy, supplemented by the video copy, supplemented by the imagery and the calls to action and all of those things that you have on your page. And how is that getting that person to take the actions that you want them to take? Are you intending to gather new prospects and you need to gather form submissions through lead capture forms? Completely different possible copy than if you're selling a product or a service or a subscription or an event. And all of that's going to play a role in the content that you're creating. So I wanted to kick it off with that. And then I want to just throw this out there for everybody. James, I see that you've got your hand up first, so we're going to call you up and go ahead, my friend. Thanks for coming on today to the Mastermind.
Hey, thanks, CR, and thanks everyone for joining today. As you mentioned, everybody know I'm a DJ and I got other business I do as well. But one of the things about those QR codes that I like to point out is, like, I just added a photo booth to my company. I have a couple more I'm doing. So the photo booth, the reason I have it is obviously give them a business, but with the QR codes, having a QR code on the photo booth, they can directly rent it out from us is great. The content is saying, first, would you like to leave us a review about how you like this session right now? Next part of it states, hey, now that you let the review, what would you use this for? And I use the campaign section and give them selections: birthday, corporate event, graduation, whatever. What would you use this for? Or click other. The other part is the great part where the client can actually give you an idea. Hey, I would like to use it for this event. Never thought about that. And I can add that to my selection list. Having that done, it makes it easier for you. And the QR codes, if you're at an event or you're just out and about, you want to promote an upcoming event, hey, you know what? Like every city has a major festival. I talked about this before. So you know what? Make a QR code or make a card about that festival. And you go and let everybody scan that QR code about the festival from you, but you're promoting it, but you're also getting the content and the potential clients and customers information to get back to you. That's one of the ways I use it. Every event I go to, I have a new QR code, a new section. Hey, whatever I'm at the current event, promoting the future event, and continue that. Back to you.
Yeah, I love that, James. And I think that the thought behind what do I want that person to do? What do I want their experience to be is so critical. To your point, maybe something that boosts your business, especially at the time of the event, is driving a review. I know so often people are searching online, doing their due diligence. And if they're choosing who to do business with, I buy products based on who has the most reviews and the most 4 or 5 star reviews. And if you've got a business out there and you have 0 reviews, or 1 5-star review and 1 2-star review, your credibility starts to go down. But if you're a person who's out there driving up a lot of reviews and they're 4 and 5 star reviews, then your credibility goes way up. I also think about, there's only so much real estate on a page. You can have one of those endless scrolling pages, but it all starts with, and I scanned, and then went to your DJ card here, right? I love it, right? And look, I see exactly what it is. In one image, I know exactly what I'm looking at. And then I can start that process of scrolling, because the attention in this world of chaos that we're all living with, it was something like, we've got 3 to 5 seconds, and I'm sure it's even smaller than that, to engage the audience with the material that we've just presented in front of them. And then they're going to make that decision to do one of two things. They're either going to continue on, right, taking that call to action or scrolling down on your page, or they're going to close out the page. And so you want to be thinking about, how is that person interacting with my content? How can I grab their attention? How can I get them to understand the actions that I'm wanting them to take, and then scroll down through that? Yeah, I mean, the background and everything, James, this is great. Anybody else out there want to contribute to the conversation? Then Jeff, I'm going to pull you forward as well to talk a little bit about the topics of just copywriting in general and some of those best practices. Anybody? Questions out there so far on content creation? One thing I want to add, I saw, James, you flip your background screen. This is a not one size fits all, right? Everybody wants, I want one thing that does everything. Like, that's the dream, right? And that's not the reality. The reality is the right information for the right person or the right audience at the right time. And with Shuffle on this platform, you have the ability, you don't have to create the perfect content, right? If content is key, we want to create lots of content, and we want that content to be specific for specific types of uses. And I think this is a big thing that a lot of people overlook. You don't need it all to be one catch-all, right? One page that talks about everything I do and every product that I promote and every service that I offer. You can have one page that talks about one thing. You can always link to that page from a hub card that has those other links on it. But when somebody's looking for a DJ, and let's say, and James, I know this isn't you, but let's say you do DJ, you do plumbing, you know what I mean? And you do landscaping. You're not going to distract somebody with the landscaping information when they're looking for a DJ. You want to just give them DJ information. And I think that's powerful about the content as well. Dane, I see your hand up. Go ahead, my friend. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me. You mentioned the content is king, and then you said the first 3 steps is how or where you will share it.
Yeah.
And then the second was who will be seeing it.
Yeah. So where or how you're sharing it, right? Like, is this something that somebody's going to scan with a QR code? Is this something that I'm going to send through an email or post online? There's so many ways, and I'm going to get a little bit digital, right? There's so many ways to drive traffic or eyeballs to your information. You could have somebody else buy a mailing list and send out your card, right? That's one option that's out there. Now, depending on what you're putting in front of them, it might be a profitable option with a return on investment, or it might be a total waste. You could have a card that's designed specifically for SEO that gets listed higher in the search terms so that somebody might be coming in through there to view your card. So where is your card going to be viewed and how is it going to be viewed is a very critical component of what you think about when you think about you're making your copy, okay? The next piece is who, like the audience member, like what I was just saying with James there. I'm not going to make my landscaping card a piece or an element on my DJ card, because the people who I'm giving my DJ card don't care that I'm a landscaper, don't care that I'm a plumber, don't care that I work for this business or have that side hustle or any of those other things. They care about DJ. You know what I mean? So we want to be thinking about who as well, that audience, and we want to play to them, because that will optimize the conversion of the calls to action and the path that I'm wanting them to take. And that's really what this is all about, right? We're all playing this numbers game out there that, in my world, I want to put my information in front of as many eyeballs that are relevant as possible, right? And then I want those people to make informed decisions to take the next steps. And then I'm not necessarily in all cases relying on that one piece of content to do all the selling for me. It might be a sliver of the whole method of interactions that I might have with those people. It might be the first action, like grabbing or generating the lead. Again, I'm going to lean back on James because he was talking about the photo booth stuff and he was contributing to the conversation. Somebody's going out there and the first thing I want them to do is say, wow, did you have fun at this event and have fun taking your photo? Give us a review. The next thing I want to do is somebody's like, whoa, this thing is so cool and it was at this event. I'm going to be hosting an event. How do I get it for myself? You're going through those ideas in your head of the audience that's viewing this. What do I want them to do? And you have to think of it, and I'm going to jump up and then Ruben, we'll get to you in a second, right? Think of it like this. This is how I start out with all my cards, right? It starts with the rectangle, the mobile card. And I'm thinking about like what we would call above the fold, and then everything below the fold, the user has to scroll down to see, right? So what they're seeing above the fold is what they see when they first open up your card. And you're thinking about who's going to be viewing this. And then you're thinking about of the people that are viewing this, right? If there was a pie diagram, and in James's mind, again, from the, let's say it's photo booth card, there might be a segment of that pie that's interested in renting. But that might be the secondary goal of his photo booth card and not the primary goal, unless he's stating that, like sticking a QR code right on the back of the photo booth that says, rent me, scan here. You know what I mean? Then he knows the intended purpose of the person scanning that QR code. And the pie goes from this sliver doing renting to this sliver doing renting. And the other part of that pie might be the review, right? Of all the people at this event, I want them to learn more about this photo booth and I want them to leave me a review first and foremost so that people who are searching and looking, whether it's Yelp, whether it's Google, are seeing that I've got a great photo booth with a massive amount of reviews. And I'm working diligently to generate all of those reviews because they have some value in my business, right? His goal may not be to capture this or capture that or get this or get that. It's just to get reviews because that's playing into one other aspect of his business. But the other end of the equation might be, no, I really want to focus on renting. So that's going to help us determine how we're laying out our card and things like that. You know what I mean? Make sure they know they're in the right spot. Maybe it starts out with an image of the photo booth, or it says a big title at the top, right? An H1 title or whatnot. We can talk about some of those things, right? I want to know that you're in the right thing. It might be like an easy link to leave us a review, And then again, we're lowering the friction for people by giving them simple paths to take, and they're the paths we want them to take, right? So that might be the link to Yelp or Google or XYZ review sites in the order that is most beneficial to James on the photo booth side. Then at the bottom, as that person scrolls, he might have a section that's like, rent the booth, and then it's like interested in renting. Here's some bullets. Here's maybe even some pricing if that's beneficial. And he might have a lead capture form on there. And so now his card's doing twofold, right? Trying to generate the review and trying to rent the booth. But here's the reality of the content side of things. If he's less focused on the reviews and more focused on the renting, he's going to reorganize his card to benefit that, right? That's where we come back and we say he's going to slap a QR code on the booth itself, and it's going to have a thing on top that says, rent this booth, scan me. And then we know the person who's scanning that, they already know their intended purpose is to rent the booth. It's like going to a trade show, putting out the fishbowl and saying, leave me your card or enter to win, or whatever the call to action is to get people to leave you the card, and then having a QR code so they can do it digitally. They already know what the expectation is. So in that case, if his focus was on renting, I wouldn't do any of the review at the top. I would take the rent the booth stuff and it would be right at the top. So when we think about our content, back to your sort of question, Danon, we're really thinking about who and how and where this content is going to be used. And if you put a little bit of forethought into it, because guys, I see it all the time. On our platform, anybody can build a landing page. And I love it, but I also see all of the missteps that people take because they're like, I'm just going to throw all this stuff on the page and it's going to work for me. The other aspect is optimizing it over time, right? How can I adjust and continue to evolve my card so that it does what I'm intending it to do? So I'm going to stop right there because I know, Ruben, you've got your hand up. Go ahead, my friend. And Danon, I hope that answered your question a bit. Okay. Yeah, Ruben, thanks for joining. Go ahead.
I'm really excited to learn a little bit more about what Jeff has to present on copy, because I think that's critical, at least for my need. But
yes.
But the question I'm having now is that on my fifth follow-up with this coach that has an impact, I finally got her attention, and she gave me the opportunity to review the dashboard and answer the question is how Shuffle can work in her business. Mm-hmm. And she said, how can I incorporate what you have there into my MailChimp? And again, I don't use MailChimp. Never, I don't have. And I said, well, how do you use MailChimp? And she says, I use a newsletter I sent out. And so here I'm thinking, great question. I'm going to go ahead and pose it to the roundtable and see what I can, because there's limitations in every system.
Yes.
Some people will have to have this or have that. But I wanted to phrase it for her that, number one, I'm going to get right back to her with the answer. And number two, show her the capabilities of Shuffle. And what I did, I showed her is every time you capture someone, I showed her how to capture it from their business card. They go right into your contacts. Okay. And from that right there, you can do this, that, and this with them and communicate. Then I went a little bit into broadcasting to a certain extent. I don't use that too much, but I was showing her other elements that maybe she has a team that she wants to communicate. I thought that might have been a point to raise there. But anyway, getting back to MailChimp, ER, what would be your answer to that?
Yeah, and I see Jeff has his hand up as well, but let me just real quick comment. If they're leaning in on that, I wouldn't have an argument with them on whether MailChimp is good or not, or whether they need a newsletter or not. They've already made that decision. You know what I mean? I would just lean into showing how this can support that if that is their issue or their question. And one of the things that they could use is Zapier to take the leads that they're getting in Shuffle and port those from the contact section into their MailChimp. However, I would want to make it very clear on the lead capture form on the card that they are joining the newsletter, if that makes sense. So, hey, great, you could use a card to get subscribers for the newsletter, and by using Zapier, port the contacts that are coming in on that card or that are getting captured into the MailChimp through the Zaps. Now, Jeff, I'm sure you've got some good thoughts to add on that. So I'm going to invite you to come forward and go on ahead and just take on the conversation, my friend.
Well, first of all, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? You got your beverages today? Hopefully you do. I'm excited to be here because I literally was upstairs racing against the clock to get on here. And then guess what showed up in the mail? My free laminated copywriting cheat sheets from no other than Perry Belcher, who is absolutely, he calls himself a hack. He doesn't put himself in the category of a great copywriter, but he writes great copy because he does what? he uses what other great copywriters do, sorry, bad grammar, and then he just kind of fills in the blank. So he's obviously one of the greatest copywriters on the planet, but he says he self-deprecates. I'm not really, I'm just a hack. And that's kind of how I look at myself, is I'm just a hack who, likes to find out. And so laying in front of me, I have a variety of really simple things for you guys to follow, and tips and whatnot. But some of them are probably somehow impregnated into my knowledge base, but I don't know where they came from. But the point is that I got a couple resources here to give a little bit more credibility, because you're going to say, well, who the hell's Jeff? What does he think he knows about copy? Well, again, I'm a hack who just knows how to find the right guys. And so I came downstairs with a couple resources. And again, I've got many, but I love Jim Edwards. Okay. He's the copywriter with ClickFunnels and whatnot. And I've shared some simple how to without kind of headlines and I'm happy to go through that. But I first want to answer your question, Krillo. I pulled up some samples because I looked at the whole Zapier thing, and I have a autoresponder, okay? Because I know a lot of people are thinking, how can I simplify and automate the email sequence and the response and all of that stuff? And so I use Aweber. They're much more affiliate and network marketing friendly, by the way. MailChimp is probably number one on the absolute do not use if you're in network marketing or affiliate marketing. Not that it's a great system, but not for those of us that are affiliates and that type of thing. So that's that. So there's a lot of great choices. So Aweber, here's what I did. I played around with this just a few weeks ago, guys. And so I'm going to give you a sample of an Elify card. So I got to have the share screen if I could, ER.
Yeah. Did you try? You should have it, Jeff.
Oh, okay. So let me start with, this will answer your question. And I love to answer questions with stories and examples. Okay. That's the teacher coach in me. Here's an example from a standpoint of the copywriting. And again, my emphasis today, I thought, let's kind of stick to headlines. Okay. Because I love headlines. 80% of your effort in copywriting needs to be in your headline on your Elify shuffle card. And I'm going to show you where, ER, you probably kind of talked about where that goes. I have one thing. I always get rid of my name and I put in the headline or the hook that I want people to see when it shows up, not when they click it, but when it lands on their phone. I want them to see the image, and I want them to see, so I get rid of my name. I can put that anywhere. Okay. So I don't know if you agree that that's kind of a solution. If you want to make it more of a landing page, if it's a digital business card, of course, I want my name to be the feature thing. Hey, it's coming from me. So what I did here is think of the headline, you guys, as you can have one simple headline, like how to do blank, right? Create a beautiful digital business card. Or you can expand that to, how can I create a profitable digital business card without tech hassles, right? All of the things they don't like. So you do without, and then you give them a time, in less than 30 minutes or whatever. So I'm going to give you some examples here in a little bit that you guys can all immediately apply. But here's what I did, Krillo. So here's my Elify card, right? I have a call, which is the pre-headline, and a call is I'm calling out my audience, my avatars, right? Stop everything. Again, this is, you can incorporate the warning or, hey, the big red thing. And I put that in there for fun. And then I've got my image. This is, it takes a lot of, you got to jump from Canva to some things, but this is the perfect selling formula. I spent weeks creating this PDF. It's a free PDF, and you guys have maybe seen it before, but here's how I used Elify to, let me move this little bar out of the way. How I used Elify to do what you're asking. Free guide reveals the secrets of the most effective selling formula in the world. Now, your headline has got to do one of two things. It's got to be a big promise. It's got to be a big idea. And again, the different gurus say it different ways, but I always liked the idea of the big promise or the shocking statement. Any of those things can go into your headline, okay? But you have to get their attention. You have to stop them in their tracks with the headline, or they will not read your bullets or anything else below. Okay, so are we clear on the importance of the headline? Now, My question
And
to you is,
if
I'm
you don't
identifying.
mind, Jeff, if you don't mind, if you could, when you're done or during this, paste in the shuffle card and share that with everybody so we can pull these up as well and see them as you go through them. Because I agree, guys. What Jeff is saying with the headline and what I mentioned earlier with the 3 to 5 seconds to catch attention. And then, Jeff, there's a few things that I heard you talking about, but I don't know if everybody gets clear on that, right? Like where you're talking about in a headline, I want to grab their attention. This is that big, bold statement, one of the first things they see. And what Jeff is saying is a best practice is to have that big, bold statement and an image, right? We're visual and we're seeing, and you can see it right there, right? And let's see what it's saying, right? Perfect selling formula. If the audience of this card is looking for a formula to sell, and this is offering that perfect selling formula, well, now I'm meeting the need. And we have to address that as fast as possible. And then that what I would refer to as that like H1 title text, right? That big headline, right? Free. Okay. You know, is your audience looking for free information? Then use the word free. Or Jeff, you talked about eliminating hassle or you know, some of the hardship. You want to show them that it's not hard, you know, or how to do it in a specific amount of time. Maybe they need to accomplish what you're promoting or providing quickly, you know, how to do it in 30 seconds or less type of thing. So I don't know if you can add any thoughts to that, but like, you know, the shocking statement that you mentioned, these elements that essentially are making up your headlines.
Yeah, here's the urgency. And again, the key points and you're going to see here in just a second, the 7 pieces of this perfect selling formula in general. And what obviously here's the big promise. And then learn the secrets of the world's greatest copywriters. I'm not saying learn Jeff Foggy's greatest secrets because I don't have the credibility. What I do have is the ability to study the great copywriters and then bring them to you. So when you guys need a testimony, and we do this all the time, we lower ourselves when we say, you know what, I can use a testimonial of somebody else, but you can also use, which I'm going to show you here in a second. I use a quote, say from Russell Brunson, who's got more credibility than me, about the importance of copywriting. The only reason I use it is because I want the person to get the idea that copywriting is important. Wake up, study this, because Russell Brunson says it's important. And so then now they're going to listen to me because I've connected myself to that quote. Okay. You can do it with Jeff, Tony Robbins. You can do it with anybody.
Anybody.
Totally legal.
And what we would call that is borrowed confidence. You know what I mean? That's the term that gets tossed around. I'm sure there's other terms for it, but you can borrow confidence from other sources by citing their quotes, and that brings it in. You know, another example of borrowed confidence, it's sort of like as seen here, here, and here, and you're putting in other brands or logos because again, Jeff, to your point, maybe you who's building this card does not have the absolute credibility level as some of the other brands or quotes that you're putting in as borrowed confidence, but all of that builds on creating credibility as a whole for your viewer who's viewing this card.
Yeah, and so you'll see a couple places here where I'm trying to create a little bit of authority, credibility, whether it's for me or someone else, but so I'm utilizing the world's greatest copywriters. And then what I says here, and this, I love this, if you guys need a headline tip, the big promise, the sub headline. So what I've done here, this has got the full pack. This has got the pre-headline, okay? Mm-hmm. It's got the urgency and the warning, and then it's got the big idea. So this is the main headline. This is the sub headline, learn the secrets. And then in parentheses, it works even if you hate, right? Because I can hear all of you right now. I hate to write. I'm not good at it, right? We all say that. It works even if you hate writing and have never written sales copy before. Now, all of a sudden, what have I just done? I've taken away your fear.
Yep.
Okay.
And address some
of lost weight in your life. So let's just make this. So let's help people in the weight loss industry. Free guide reveals the secrets of the most effective fat burning formula in the world. ... Learn the secrets of the top weight loss experts. Right? Not me. That use the ketogenic diet. Yada yada yada. And I've got the details here. It works even if you hate starving and eating rabbit food. Okay. Gain access to the PDF. Here's a sneak peek. learn the simple, delicious foods you can eat, right? The hidden shortcuts that the keto, see, and it doesn't really matter what the topic is, you guys. If you notice what I'm doing here, in bullet points, second most important thing. So you've got headline, bullet points, but you notice I've got call to actions in 2 different places. And if they haven't clicked this red button here, guys, I'm hoping they click it there. But if they don't, well, maybe they need a sneak peek. One of the best precursors to your bullets is here's a sneak peek at what's inside. Here's what you get for an offer. It's so simple. And then bullet point it and take away their fear, take away their anxiety, give them confidence, tell them that you're with them. And people love to feel that you're with them and that they're okay and it's not their fault, okay? If you've never written good copywriting before, hey guys, it's not your fault. They didn't teach us this in school. Hey, if you've never lost weight before, you know what? They never taught us that. It's not your fault. You just got a lot, you're overwhelmed with all the information on the internet. You see what I'm doing is I'm making you what? Draw closer to who? Me, or this is you speaking. They will draw closer to you as a consultant and a coach and not a seller. Okay, we've got to get to the point. So now here's what I did. And then this is very important. I told you last week that because is a super powerful word. I created the perfect selling formula so you can use the power of words to sell more of anything you can dream of. Big dream idea. See, I'm continually, and then I use a little credibility. I was on a TV show talking about, so that image is what, well, God, the guy's on TV somewhere, whatever. But what I'm doing now is here it is. You ready, Krillo? I'm not going to take you to another Elify card. I went ahead and made the most simplistic match to my Elify card, which is basically, they don't know that it's going to wherever they're going. They just think it's part of this is very common. Every website has something that pops down or goes to the form. So here's the form. Do you care that it's not in Elify? They fill this out, the email goes, they download it, and then guess what? They get delivered their product in a PDF. And if you guys don't know how to deliver a PDF, this drove me nuts. I was always like, God, I can create stuff, but I don't know how to deliver it and store it and do all that. I'm happy to show you that, but here's what you get when you go to your email. But guess what? I've got you as a lead, and that's what people aren't realizing. It isn't just, you say, Jeff, why did you spend all this time putting this work into this selling formula
list
to just give it away? Well, guess what? This whole thing, here's what you get. I'm going to tell you how to do an attention-grabbing headline. And then down here, I give you some samples. I give you the pre-framing, how to set the stage, tell a story, reveal the solution. See, we all run to the solution first. Hey, get my great thing and join my network marketing company. You got to get through all this first. Hold off your solution until I don't even reveal most of what I do until I get through these stages. Then show proof and evidence, testimonials. And again, they can be, like we said, why should I believe Jeff Foggy? Well, you can use my own testimonials. Okay, I lost 18 pounds in 45 days. I really did. So I can give that testimonial, but there's other people too. And then I can say, hey, look at all these other people that did it too. And the way we did it is scientifically proven because this fitness expert, see, all of that is proof and testimonials. Now let's move down to the most important part. If you guys want to make a lot of money, write good headlines and make great offers, okay? And I've got the offer formula here. But what you need to do, there's 3 steps. You need to tell them what they're going to get, build the value for each piece. If you've never done an offer stack, I've spent hours building, and I'm actually in the middle of that, where you don't just get the thing that your company offers, right? So just the subscription to Elify is the thing, and the cost is this. Right. That's not the freaking offer, you guys. If that's your offer, good luck. Because if you don't offer free consultation, if you don't put them in the Facebook group, if you don't give them this, that, and the other, anything that you can think of, make your offer irresistible. And I've got 20 million ideas on that, but let's just keep moving. Time for the close. Now, the close is not the old-fashioned close. And again, I can get into a whole thing on the script that I've done for you guys to ask questions where you're seeking and looking to find the problem, tear back the layers, get the emotion of that person's problem, their emotions, And then you come in, if you can, and you say, you know what, I don't know if my solution is going to solve your problem, but let's go ahead and look at this. Can you tell me more about this? So the close is how you take away risk. You know, you've got guarantees. You're going to sweeten the pot with bonuses, which I just mentioned. Create urgency. This is a limited time offer. It's that simple. Make a strong call to action. Click here now. That's it. It's you guys. This isn't tough, but you got to follow these simple steps. And so what I did here, then I did not plan on doing this. I was going to make this my PDF offer. I spent days and days deciding to give a sample of one of the hardest things to do in copywriting. And that's a long page sales letter. Oh my God. Write a VSL or a short page sales letter. You can do that with the guide I just gave you, but I'm going to scroll quickly and show you what I did here. Again, the call, this is a headline package. Russell Brunson quote right there. So now they're like, oh, I hate copy. Why is copy important? Well, Russell Brunson says it's the most important thing. It isn't the funnel. It's not the graphics. It's not the design. It's the copy. Okay, that's good enough for me. So then, dear friend, does any of this sound familiar? When you start writing copies, there's a couple ways to do this. You can say, imagine this or imagine that, and you dream build for them. What I've done here is maybe you've fallen in love with the idea of having an online business to make passive income, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you already have a business, like I think most of you. So see, I'm building my audience. Maybe you want to have it. Maybe you dream about it, having a business. Maybe you already have one. Maybe you want to add another stream of income. I'm putting you into my group that you continue to listen to what I have to say. If you don't fall into any of these, then it's time for you to go away. But this is whichever it is for you. I'm sure you'd like to do it quickly and on autopilot. So I'm kind of like, yeah, don't we agree? Yeah, Jeff, I agree with you. I want to do it fast. I want to do it on autopilot. I want to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy my family instead of working all the time. ER's talking about freedom. So what am I doing here in my copy? I'm making you start to dream about, my God, autopilot, money while I sleep, without working all the time. I got to do more. And then what do I say? You say, I understand, or I get it. You're tired of seeing others make lots of sales and money online. You know you're smarter than them, and you've got a better product. So what the hell, right? So you're like, yeah, Jeff, let's have a beer together with this kind of conversation. I'm talking with you, not at you. And then I'm like, yeah, we've all heard the online gurus brag about the millions of dollars they've made. They all seem to have the similar rags to riches. Now look at how cool I am story. See, I don't do that. I like self-deprecate myself as much as I can. Say, I'm a hack. Listen, my last 2 years of my life have been shit, but you know what? I found something that's going to help me get out of this pit. Do you want to know what it is? And then you're like, you know what, Jeff? I've experienced that too. And so what I do is, none of this is your fault, right? We all love to hear it. Jeff, ER, none of this is your fault. It's not your fault. You just didn't know about the perfect selling formula, right? No one ever taught us this. So then as I go through, I'm going to scan faster. We talk about roadblocks. And then I lead into my story, which is critical. So this is what I say. Listen, I get it. The thought of building a website, a funnel, a digital business card, guessing what to write and hope that you sell a product or service, it's intimidating. It scares the hell out of us, right? So I'm acknowledging that it's scary. I was scared. How do I know this? Because I lived it. Now, what did I just do? Because I lived it, I promise to keep this story painlessly short for you. I'm introducing my story because I'm going back to where you were. Now I've already lost my 20 pounds, but I'm going to go back to when I was 20 pounds overweight. I'm going back to when I wasn't making money online, right? I'm going back to meet you and hold your hand. You ready? Here's my story. I'm not going to go through my whole story, but I just go back to July of 17. You got to give them the picture. I show them that I was a successful businessman, traditional business guy, but I was chained to my vending machines, just like a dairy farmer's chained to his cows, right? I was feeling anxious, stressed. So I start with high drama. It was great having freedom, but it was, I was anxious, stressed, bored. I was looking for a new challenge, bigger impact. I wanted to help others. Ever feel that way? See, and this is another thing in your copywriting, guys. Learn to write questions, okay? Brunson learned this and he started making a lot of money. He could not sell anything until he started to do these questions at the end of statements that you guys understand what I'm saying? You guys getting this? Like right now, what I'm sharing with you, are you guys getting this? Can I see a nod of the head? Is any of this making sense? Do you want me to share more? Right. And then so what I'm doing is I'm getting a lot of heads to nod. You need to do that in your copy. So then here's what happened. Great copy line, because now I lean in. What happened next, Jeff? Well, believe it or not, right? I love that. It was later that year. So now you're in my story, right? I'm really bringing you through. Here's a strange but true story. I stumbled onto this little book, right? I stumbled onto this website. I stumbled onto a conversation with a friend. It doesn't matter. I'm sharing my little book. And then I found out, and hey, I'm not an MLM basher, but I found out that the way they train the industry is crazy. I found the new way, right? And you're like, oh my God, I want the new way. I want the online way. So here I am. I was totally clueless. Again, I'm not telling you how great I am. I'm telling you how awful life was. But then it was awesome because I discovered that there was a new idea, there was a new thought, there was a new thing. In this case, it was understanding funnels and copywriting, yada, yada. But then you give them the troll comes back in the road. There's another smack in the face that hits us all in business, right? 2 years of funnel hell. Little did I know that, blankety blank blank, I decided I had to do whatever it takes to get really good at writing sales copy inside of my Elify shuffle cards, right? I had to get really good at designing and sharing my shuffle cards. I really needed to get great at creating campaigns. Whatever it is that you are not good at with your Elify shuffle, commit to doing that. So you can relate to me here. Anyway, I'm going to move on. The day everything changed for me, I think some of you know, I lost my dear brother, my mom, my dad. And so now all of a sudden it's like, you know what? I have a parent that has Alzheimer's. I have a parent. Jeff, you went through shit and I get it, but still you're moving forward with your life. You're moving forward with your business. And I want to know more about your story. So you continue to read. Well, then ultimately I'm getting into you, and it's true. Now everybody on this call can learn how to write powerful sales copy in your Elify shuffle cards like a professional copywriter. And I've got more great news for you. So anyway, I'm going to stop there. But as you can see, then I get into the offer, the modules that I'm going to be teaching. This is actually pretty cool. Each module, the bold headline, set the stage, tell them your story, which I just kind of shared a little of mine. Now your solution, the Elify shuffle card. And then they're like, oh my God, tell me more about it. There's proof. You guys go to the Elify site. I pull those testimonials and I put them wherever, right? Because I'm using other people's, I'm using my own testimonial. Irresistible offer, which leads to the secret close. And so what am I doing? I'm giving you a boatload of value here, but ultimately, what is the purpose of me giving you this free PDF? And see, here's know, like, and trust. I'm trying to show you a little bit about my life. Here's teaching in front of a class about how to write copy. I'm just a normal guy like you, my wife is just a normal gal like you gals. So all of a sudden, and then I show you the team that I'm working with and how they've stood by me during the tough time that I went through. So I'm really personalizing this, but I'm also giving you a $497 video course that goes with this for free. And you're like, why are you doing this for free, Jeff? How do you ever make money? Again, it's because I want to build trust with a large audience. And then maybe down the road, if I offer a subscription to Elify Shuffle, and they're going to say, you know what? That makes sense, Jeff. I see that it's really helped you, and I've read your stuff. I trust you, and you're going to help me get the discount on the Elify Shuffle subscription. You're going to meet with me. Dang, my power is about to go out. So if I drop off, take over. But before it dies, here's some other fun things I did. Make extra income on the side. Thinking of starting a new side hustle? Again, that's for somebody that maybe doesn't have a business yet, but they're thinking about it. See, it's very targeted. Here's another one. You're about to learn secrets to making money online that most people will never know. Oh my God, I got to know what this is. My bullets, call to action. And all I'm trying to do, guys, is have you watch a video, which is loaded with more great copy. Okay. I just did this. I took the new sales. So this is an Elify meet shuffle. Get the perfect selling script. I spent quite a bit of time putting this script together for you guys. You meet people on Facebook, right? But you don't know what to say. You don't know how to introduce shuffle. I've done a whole script here. for that's taking its time. And this is what I did today. The pressure was on, Ella. This showed up in the mail while I was preparing for the call. My wife brought me these. I got them in the mail. There was a QR code on the envelope that I scanned, and it went to his funnel. Okay. It can go to your Elify shuffle card. So I made this real quick. Free. Just got them. Want yours? Get these normally $29, what they are, discover, and then I used legendary copywriter Perry Belcher. So it's not me. So you click the button, and guess what? I'm sending them, just instead of, like sending them to your network marketing company or whatever, I'm sending them to his funnel. I don't have to see, it's already there. I don't have to put all this in my Elify card, right? I put enough in the Elify card. Oh, shoot.
Maybe Jeff just dropped there, but hopefully you guys are all getting some value out of what Jeff is sharing here. I want to call out a few things that I saw and then open this up for any questions. Brenda, I did see that you had your hand up and you've been waiting patiently. I'm not sure if you had a question for Jeff or a comment or general question, but please go ahead.
I think you answered it. My question was that I just wanted to know, was telling Jeff it was an excellent job that he did. And he put a lot of work into it. And I wanted to know, was he putting this on the internet and Facebook?
Yeah, we'll have to follow up with Jeff. I think he's jumping in through his phone right now, but these are some good questions. And I want to call out a few things as Jeff is coming back online through his phone. First of all, yes or no, did Jeff put in some time and some forethought and some work into building his cards? Absolutely yes. And that's what I would recommend to everybody. Number two, does Jeff have just one card or does he have multiple cards to serve multiple purposes? And Anna, you made the comment, multiple audiences, right? Some audiences are going to lean into that long form copy letter, right? Some other attributes. Jeff relates to that person within his copy, right? I know what you're going through. I've been there before. Here is my journey. Let me be your guide. Right? Here's another thing that I picked up there, and then we'll ask Jeff that question, right? There is a formula for some of this stuff, guys. Write that down. There's a formula. If you learn the formula and you understand the elements, and this is what Jeff was talking about, right? Things like borrowed confidence, calls to action, multiple calls to action, the headline, the proof of, the borrowed confidence or the testimonials, or all of those things can be added to your cards that can help benefit the performance of your cards. Then think about what Jeff is doing. He has an intended purpose behind every card, right? One of the cards, he wants to add you to his list, okay? By providing you quid pro quo, some free information. On another card, Jeff is an affiliate. He's looking at multiple streams of income, right? Which we all promote on here. And he is taking a card, but as he said right before he hopped off, I put enough information on my shuffle card to then direct them into somebody else's funnel through my affiliate link. Again, amazing. That's really good. Jeff, Brenda did have the question for you. And I think we all have this question, how and where are you using some of your cards, right? Like the long form card is or email. You know what I mean? Do you send that out in an email when somebody's on your list? The short affiliate put them into the thing that you just got in the mail type of thing card. Are you planning on posting that on social? How are you leveraging your cards and where are you marketing them at?
Yeah, that's a good question. I got my phone here. I'm trying to get back onto my computer because I have an example of a blog / email. And again, a good point, because here's one of the most important things you're going to learn today. If you guys write what you think is a good piece of copy, right? You can tweak it a little bit, construct it into some sort of an email, or you maybe pluck out a little bit to make an email. Or if it's a blog, and again, I was in attraction marketing with Elite Marketing Pro, and one of the things you learn with Facebook is that they're all about, if you're going to run ads or do whatever like that, you don't run them to your link, and that goes with anything. You don't run people to a link. There's a bridge, and a bridge. When I say the word bridge page, a blog is a fantastic, because a blog shows your credibility. So I actually created a a blog style of card here, but I have got to get back. Once you continue, but yes, you're right. Different pieces of content I can take, and I'm actually right now, oh my God, I'm working on a slide deck VSL. Okay. And the one video that I show, it's actually my copywriting pieced into images on a music video, right? I'm not speaking, but then there's another video where I'll be speaking and there'll be background images showing a person frustrated or whatever. See, I'm trying to use my voice plus the imagery. And so, but again, it's the same piece of copy. I can take that same copy. I put it, here's what you got to do, guys. Google Drive, get your docs, create copy, put it in there, then pull it out and plug it into your Elify shuffle cards, right? Make 2 or 3 headlines, see which one you like best, copy, paste, and put it in. And so I always start in Google Drive, and then that's where I throw my ideas, get my hacks, and then I can take a piece of content, I can make it into, heck, I can take pieces of it and put it into a story, like image with some curiosity. You see some of the copy that I did, I could take a couple of those headlines and put them over an image and just let them pop up in stories. I can make a blog. I can put a post and say, hey, click here and read this article, not go to my site and buy my shit. Sorry for the language, buy my stuff. I just get really turned off to people that just post stuff that go right to, but if you notice the examples, I'm really trying hard to do examples where I'm only sending people to a free video. I'm sending people to get a free a script for how to sell Elify. Everything is free. So I'm giving away. So you'll never see on any of the cards that I try to demo where I'm like, what does this guy sell? And I'm not trying to do that. So hopefully that's coming across, that every card is going to something free. If you decide to move forward and beyond, I'm not sure. It might still be free, or there might be a $7 charge. I don't know. That's the idea of a funnel. If you guys are in a business where you are in a supplement company, maybe give away something free, a guide, a free consultation call, and then you got a $7 a free sample item or whatever, or a sample, and then a $7 item, and then maybe they eventually get the $4.95 pack. But too many people in network marketing anyway, they go straight to the $4.95 pack and try to upsell to the $1,000 pack, because then you can make more money. Well, wait, I don't want to make money. I just want to drink the shakes and lose weight. I don't want to. What are you talking about? This pyramid thing you're talking about? See, and that's the problem. I'm trying to build bridges that build a connection with you so you can grow your business, because you're sharing an article, a blog, a video, or whatever. And they're enjoying that. They're getting value. They're learning, and then they're saying, "Dang, I'm really picking up a few things here." So I'll set up. And
totally appreciate all the information, Jeff. I've seen in the chat a few requests for some of those shuffle cards that you created. If you could share the links to those within the chat so that people can access those. Guys, if you want to fill out the form to get that PDF guide that Jeff is promoting there as well with the copy outline, I think that's a great thing. Or if Jeff, you want to just paste in the PDF guide, either way. A lot of people have posted their cards in the chat. We can all connect on it. But here it is, right? You've got to go through, and you've got to take some time, energy, and effort to think about what you're going to put in front of people, right? And how they're going to interact and engage with that material, and what steps or what path or what journey you're taking them on, right? You are their guide. You are their helper. They are buying just as much, to Jeff's point, you, as they are the product or service that you're offering. Now for some of us, we may not need that whole long form offer that Jeff was talking about in what we're promoting. If we're, if we're promoting something that's not targeting that. But one of the things that I've learned is just from studying, and to Jeff's point, studying copywriting, a lot of the times if you see great stuff online that works for you or would work for your audience, Jeff mentioned it earlier, there's almost like this find and replace process that you can go through, and you can sort of look at it from the perspective of your offering or your thing. Take an opportunity, go online, spend 10 minutes on Google, Googling things that are similar to what you offer, and read through other people's copy and think, oh, wow, how would it work for my offer? And it might even be in an unrelated space or unrelated industry. So consider that as well when you're creating your content on your cards. Other things, make sure that you're creating different cards. One of the other things I saw in Jeff's stuff here today is he's got different cards and they're really promoting singular things, right? It's not all of my things on a single card. It's I've got a card to promote one thing, right? Getting that lead captured and making this offer for a free guide. Giving this value away for free and taking them over here to my affiliate promotion or somebody else's affiliate promotion. So some of those types of things is what you're going to want to be thinking about when you're creating your content. That's the big key to content creation. And then the other thing I will say is done is better than perfect. If you have to remember one thing, done is better than perfect. And you can go through, you can create something, you can get it out there, and you can test it. And then you can come back to your cards, you can edit those cards, and you can continually optimize the performance of the cards. You saw some of the stuff like Jeff talked about because, or, I can relate or understand, or don't you think? You can try that language and then shift it around a little bit. It's easy to clone a card and then go back in and adjust copy and get it out there and start testing how your market relates to the card that you've created, and then come back and dial it in a little bit more and get out there and do it again. And part of that testing is going to generate customers, but the ultimate goal is to have it optimized in a way that it's generating its maximum potential for the eyeballs that you're getting it in front of. Now, any last questions? I know we're at the top of the hour. We usually take about an hour to do these mastermind roundtables. I know we had a lot of information. Jeff opened up the fire hose on all of us with some information here. Anybody have any questions, thoughts, tips, tricks, contributions as we sort of round this thing out? Please raise your hand, unmute yourself, come forward. Otherwise, we're going to start to wrap this thing up. Everybody's good? No excuses now, everybody. Get out there and update the copy on your cards. Think about how you're using your cards. James, I expect if I come and see that photo booth, I'm going to have a rent this booth scanner right on there and a card that goes straight to that. And, now it's, hey, and in some cases, I don't think, hey, I know what it is like to be without a photo booth. I was once there before, and then this is my journey to get a photo booth and you can rent a photo booth from me type of thing. There's different ways to write copy for everything. And I think that's the big key here, everybody. There's not a one size fits all. And you just need to put a little bit of forethought and a little bit of work into how it's going to be leveraged to best support your goal or intended purpose. So with that being said, everybody, I want to thank you guys for all taking some time out of your day to participate in today's Roundtable Mastermind. As I mentioned, content is king. If you don't have or haven't maxed out your 10 cards, I know there are people on our system with hundreds. I'm not just saying 100 cards, hundreds of cards. Okay. So you have no excuse to go out there and create your content, work on your copy, and get it in front of people and let it do its thing for you. So with that being said, everybody, have a great rest of your Thursday. Quick housekeeping. Friday with the founders is tomorrow, okay, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. We're going to be talking all things Elify as we always do. We always invite you guys to join the conversation on that. And in the meantime, get out there and share. Create something worth sharing and see how it does for you. Have a great day, everybody. Take care and talk soon. Bye-bye.